What is identity? What makes up you who you are? Your identity is made up of many different aspects, such as your interests, experiences, your personality, and your family. There are many different ways to describe identity. I believe two philosophers, Kant and David Hume, do a good job in explaining identity. David Hume's theory is that identity is made up of memories, impressions, ideas, and experiences. Kant's theory is that experiences, ego, and your personality is what makes up your identity. In this video, I'll be explaining my identity and how I became who I am today. I'll be doing this by showing you my roots and my routes. First, I'll start with my routes. I was born in Denver, Colorado in 1999. Even though this is where I stayed for the first 3 years of my life, I don't really remember much of it, therefore it doesn't have a huge effect on my identity. Around my 3rd birthday, my family migrated to Massachusetts. For about 3 to 4 months, we stayed in a town called Winchester. Then my family found a nice little house in a town called Lexington in Massachusetts. We settled down here for about 10 years. This is where I grew up most of my life. All of my childhood memories, or most of them at least, come from Lexington. We lived on a corner of streets, one being a dead end. One of the greatest things about this neighborhood is the people there. Everyone is friendly and welcoming. For me, being in a family with 2 brothers and no sisters, I enjoy being in a neighborhood with many girls around my age. For a huge event that affected my identity from being in this community was block parties. Block parties are when everyone from the neighborhood meets at a house or a closed-off street for a big get-together. Everyone pitches in and helps form this event. Some bring food, drinks, plastic utensils, or anything else that can be used. I believe this took part in shaping my identity because it lets me experience an open, friendly, and close-knit community. A little over a year ago, my family and I migrated out here to Switzerland. Before I describe more on what made us move to Switzerland, I'll first explain migration according to Lee. He describes migration in terms of push and pull factors. Push factors are negative conditions at the point of origin which encourages or forces people to move. There are not many push factors that have my family and I leave the U.S. However, one push factor is for my father to experience a different job within the company, so he can try something new before he retires from the company. Pull factors are positive conditions at point of destination which encourages people to move. There are many pull factors that helped us decide to move to Switzerland. A few are more opportunities to travel different places, like to different countries, better transportation, better schooling, and a chance to meet people from all around the world and be exposed to different cultures. Example of how this has affected me over the past year is I've been to about 5 different countries so far, and I've been able to experience their different lifestyles, which in the U.S. I wouldn't be able to do this. Now that you know about my routes, I'll tell you a little bit about who I am, my roots. What makes up my roots are my family, friends, interests, traditions, and my actions, what I say and do. First, I'll go into my family and how they affected my life. My father and my mother, Edward Gaudreau and Helen Gaudreau. My parents affected my identity a whole lot. I've grown up to be who I am today because of how my parents raised me, and also because they are role models to me and my brothers. Growing up around them, we pick up things from them, like manners, how we speak to others, and also sometimes our interests. My brothers also play a large part in my identity. My older brother, Harry, is like a leader to us. We look up to him for advice and to follow his lead. Then there's Ian, my twin. Without him, I would not be the same person. For the first 10 years of my life, Ian and I did everything together. We had the same birthday party. We would not have 2 separate ones. Even though we no longer share birthday parties, we are still close to each other. My dogs Molly and Bailey are very important to me, as well as Sammy, who died before we had Molly and Bailey. My dogs don't affect my identity as much as the rest of my family. However, they're still a part of my family, and I care dearly for them. They've shown us nothing but kindness and loyalty. They bring us happiness and the comfort of knowing that they'll always be here for us. Another aspect that forms my roots are family traditions. One of my favorite traditions is Pierogi Night. All of our family members that are around come over to our house to make pierogies on the eve of Christmas Eve. Family friends also come over for this festive night. We've been doing this ever since I can remember. We make potato, cheese, and cabbage stuffed pierogies, served with kielbasa, which is always from the brand Blue Seal. This is my favorite night of the year. Not only is pierogies my favorite meal, but also I get to share this special night with people I love. My family and I love the outdoors. Whether it's hiking, skiing, riding bikes or motorbikes, or just enjoying the sun on the ocean, we're always outside. Skiing is a huge part of my life, a large part of who I am. My brothers and I have been skiing since we were 3. We love to ski and hit the runs every chance we get. We don't like the green stuff or icy slopes. Instead, we hunt for the powder, along with the tree skiing. Tree skiing is my absolute favorite when it comes to skiing, alongside powder. When the sun is shining bright, we like to go to the beach or on our boat to go fishing or tubing. Since I was 6, my brothers and I have been riding dirt bikes, motorized bikes, at our farmhouse in Hill, New Hampshire. Sometimes my parents or cousins will join us for a ride around the field or down the road. Without these activities, along with sports like tennis and softball, I wouldn't be that connected to outdoors, and I would spend most of my time inside. Overall, I believe that what impacts my identity most is my family and my experiences, the places I've been and the things I've done. Now you know a little bit about my roots and my routes, and the factors that affect my identity. Thanks for watching.
Let's commit the perfect crime. I'll steal your heart, you'll steal mine. We can run right into love. I believe that you are destined.